Hello children, today we'll start with chapter 2 types of software. Before we learn about software, let us revise the terms hardware and software. First of all, what is hardware? Hardware are those parts of a computer which you can touch and feel and see. For example, your keyboard, mouse, CD, pen drive, hard disk and so on. In my hand, I have a CD. I can touch it, you can see it, but there are some songs in it. Can you see them? No, you cannot touch them. Those songs are software. So software are the programs which are stored in a hard disk, a CD, or even a pen drive like this one. In this pen drive, there are hundreds of files, pictures, documents. Now you can see this pen drive, but you cannot see what is stored in it. So all those things which are stored in this pen drive are software. Now we know that there are different types of hardware: input devices, output devices, and storage devices. Now software is also of many types. Now in the remaining part of this video, we'll study about the various types of software. So we begin with lesson 2, types of software. Here is a nice definition of software. Software is the collection of programs that are stored and run on the computer hardware and help users to work on the computer. Now the key words are, first of all, collection of programs. A software is not just one program, it is a collection of many programs. For example, Microsoft Word or Microsoft PowerPoint is not made up of only one file or only one program, but hundreds of such files and programs that are stored and run on the computer hardware. And by computer hardware, I don't mean keyboard or mouse, I mean the storage devices like the hard disk, the pen drive, the CD, DVD, or the memory card. Now here is a classification of software. The types of software. Software is basically of two types: system software and application software. Windows is an example of system software. Word is an example of application software. Now, you know what is Windows, you know what is Word. Windows is your operating system and Word is a word processing software used for typing. Now, what do you do in Windows? It seems that there is not much you can do in Windows. In Windows, all you can do is change the wallpaper, change the screensaver, play with the gadgets, do a few things with the taskbar. Nothing much it seems you can do with Windows. On the other hand, Word is something which you can use for preparing documents. It seems very useful. With PowerPoint you can make slides. With TuxPaint and Paint you can draw pictures. With games you can get hours and hours of entertainment. So if you have a computer, you will not have a computer only with Windows. You must have Windows, but along with Windows you also must have application software like Word, PowerPoint, TuxPaint, Scratch and many more, especially games. Now there are three types of system software: operating system, language processor and utility software. Before we continue further, I must tell you that language processor, though it is there in your book, it is not there in your portion, so we will not study it. Application software is of two types: general purpose and specific purpose. Now, let me try to explain to you in another way the difference between system software and application software. Imagine a school and the teachers are like the application software, because you come to school to study and teachers are there to teach you. If there are no teachers, you cannot study. The purpose of going to school will not be satisfied if there are no teachers. And what is the system software? The system software is like these people, the principal, the office clerk, the workers. These people are not directly involved in the business of teaching, but they provide services that make it possible for teachers to teach. So once again, teachers in a school are like the application software. You would not have a computer without application software, just like you can't have school without teachers. But the application software will not run without the system software, just like teachers won't be able to teach properly. In fact, they will not be able to teach only if these people, especially the principal, is not there in the school. Here is the definition of system software. System software is defined as a collection of programs that controls the overall operations and internal workings of a computer system. Now children, so far we studied about software. We studied about the types of software when we studied about system software. We know that there are three types of system software, namely operating system, language processors, and utility software. Today, in the remaining part of this video, we will study about operating system. Now, before we understand what are the functions of an operating system, let us know about some of the popular operating systems that are prevalent in today's world. Firstly, we must talk about Windows. Most of the desktop and laptop computers today run Windows. Okay, Windows is developed by Microsoft Corporation and it is one of the most widely used operating systems. Android operating system is not mentioned in your book, but I still put it over here because Android is the most popularly used operating system on smartphones. Most of the operating systems run on the Android operating system, except iPhones which have a different operating system. Then we have Mac OS. There are these computers called Mac or Macintosh. These run an operating system called Mac OS. Linux. Does that penguin look familiar to you? Yes. The people who have made the Linux operating system also made the ever popular TuxPaint software. There is one more point of interest for you about Linux. Linux is the operating system in all the smartboard computers in our school. Another interesting fact about Linux is that it is the only free operating system. And let's not forget MS-DOS. MS-DOS is an operating system which is not used nowadays, but before Windows came, about 25 years ago, most computers in the world used MS-DOS. In fact, it was MS-DOS which made computers popular. And MS-DOS was also developed by Bill Gates, Microsoft Corporation, and it is MS-DOS which made Bill Gates the world's richest man. What does an operating system do? An operating system is needed to operate a computer. It controls the overall activity of the computer, acts as a link between the hardware and the software. These 3 points I will discuss later on in this video. But the fourth point, let's read it. When the computer is switched on, the operating system is the first program that's get loaded in the computer memory. So when you switch on your computer, it takes a little while for the Windows screen to come. Yes, because Windows is a very big program and it takes little time to load, and so a little time is spent, and Windows is the first program that's get loaded in the computer memory. Now let's look at these pictures. You can understand the logo for Windows, but what is the principal's picture doing here? Well, just like the principal is important in the school, equally an operating system is like the principal. Now I said the operating system is like the principal of a school. So before I discuss what are the functions of an operating system, let me explain to you what a principal or vice principal do, so then you can understand the usefulness of the operating system. What does the principal or vice principal do? You will say nothing much. The principal or the vice principal takes the morning assembly, goes on a round, seeing the classes, and stays in her or his room, and the only other time you get to see him is when you have been naughty and you have been sent to the vice principal's room. But you may be surprised. The principal or vice principal has a lot of work to do. The principal or the vice principal supervises the students and teachers. Okay? Students need supervision and also teachers need supervision. And it is the vice principal or the principal who has to do it. Makes the daily timetable, exam timetable, syllabus. Now if there was nobody to make the daily timetable, you know what would happen? When it is time for your English class, you will find Joydeep sir has also arrived, along with your Hindi teacher. They all are saying it is now their class. So then you need somebody to make the timetable. You need somebody to make the exam timetable too, as well as the syllabus. Otherwise, one teacher will teach something, another teacher will teach something else. So, somebody has to be there to consult with all the teachers and decide the syllabus. And the vice principal maintains discipline and attends to parents and other visitors. So, you can understand how useful or a principal is, how important he or she is. And one thing you must understand is, you don't really get to see her doing her work. You don't get to see her making the timetable or the syllabus, attending to parents, visitors. Most of the work that the principal does is something that you don't see. Similarly is the case with the operating system. Operating system is much more than just changing the wallpaper and changing the screensaver. And now we'll discuss in detail the functions of an operating system. The first function I'll talk about is device management, input-output. An operating system controls the working of all input and output devices. So maybe you're really too young to understand the intricacies of a computer system, but just think about it. Just a click of a mouse, just a tap on your keyboard and things get done. So easy? No, it's not so easy really. It's a very, very complicated process. The computer has a lot of complex hardware and software, and it is the operating system which makes it so easy for you. Memory management. An operating system assigns memory to various programs whenever required. So any program that you do is loaded into the memory, the RAM, the random access memory. So a program is loaded into memory. Very good. Then another program is also loaded into the memory. Now it should not be loaded in that part of the memory where the first program is loaded. Should it be? Do you look into these things when you load a program? How do you load a program? You just click on some icon and the program starts. You don't even know that there is a memory. But the program has to come to the memory. So the operating system Hidden to You takes care of all that. It checks when the programs are loaded, it's stored in the memory, and it sees to it that one program doesn't take the place of another program. Run software. An operating system runs application software like MS Word and MS PowerPoint. So how do you start MS Word? All of you know how to start MS Word. All of you know how to start MS PowerPoint. You go to the Start button and then you click on the MS Word and MS PowerPoint. Or there may be an icon on the desktop. You click on that and your program starts. So simple. Yes, it's so simple to you because of the operating system. The operating system makes it look so simple. Actually, the underlying process is very complicated, but we don't need to know about it. We need not to worry about it. The operating system is there to take care of it. We have some more functions of an operating system. Processor management. An operating system manages the processor, the brain of the computer, the processor, the microprocessor, the ALU control unit. They also are managed by the operating system. File management. An operating system manages the creation, deletion, transfer, and copy of files. So you know how to save a file. So simple. Click on the File button. Menu comes. Click on Save. The File dialog box appears. You type a file name and click on Save. Bringing back a saved file is also quite simple. Last year when you were in class 4, you also learned how to delete a file, how to copy a file, how to move a file. Now all these things are done by the operating system. Even saving and opening a file. Saving and opening a file is not done by Word or not done by Paint. Yes, we click on the File button in MS Word or we click on the Paint button in Paint to do all these things. But the actual work is done by the operating system. Besides, all these files, they are stored in the hard disk or another storage devices. So, the operating system must manage all this. It must keep a record of which file is stored and where it is stored so that when required it can be loaded again onto the memory. And lastly, security. Often you start a computer or a smartphone for that matter and you get a password. This password is there to prevent misuse of computers. And by computers, I don't exclude smartphones also. Remember, a smartphone is also a type of computer. So all these functions that I mentioned over here are relevant for smartphones and tablets as well. So the passwords that you give, the PIN that you give in smartphones, these are all the work of the operating system. A few assignments are there. Please do them in your textbook. And with that, I come to the end of today's video. We discussed about operating system. We discussed about software, types of software. Now in the next video, we'll talk about the different other types of system software, that is utility software.